Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how your point of impact changes if you throw in a 22 conversion bolt in your 5.56 rifle. Okay, so this right now has the Holosun 510C on it, and with 5.56 it has a 50-yard zero. So my first zero is at 50 yards, second zero is at 200 yards. At 100 yards I'm about 3 to 4 inches high. Okay, so when I put in the 22 conversion bolt, what happens? Well, one of the things to recognize is that you don't actually have a zero. And here's what I mean by that. The bullet actually never comes high enough to intersect your line of sight. So with the 5.56, the way this is set up, your line of sight is straight and the barrel is pointed slightly up so that the bullet basically rises, because basically the line of sight is about 2 3/4 inches above your barrel. So the barrel is slightly up so that the bullet is going to come up. It's going to intersect at 50 yards. It's going to keep rising, until it gets to about 100 yards, where it's going to be 3 to 4 inches high. Then it'll start coming back down where it intersects again at 200 yards. Okay, so with the 22 conversion bolt, we never get that intersection. Okay, so there is no true zero when you put in the 22 conversion bolt, but we can still hit our target as long as we know our holdovers. Okay, so when you put in the 22 conversion bolt, it's all about holdovers at that point. It's going to look something like this. From 10 yards, so basically, first of all, this is your 65 MOA circle. There's in red, there's a 2 MOA dot in the middle. Then you got your 4 hashes over here. So from 10 yards all the way out to 100 yards, you can pretty much put the dot on top of your target, and my target was 1 foot wide, 2 feet tall. If you put the dot on top of your target, you're going to get hits. Okay, so that's 10 yards all the way out to 100 yards. Now at 150 yards is a pretty fast drop. What you're going to do is, you see that little hash over there? Well, you're going to put this hash at the bottom of your target, right? You see how I have that there? So at 150 yards, I have the target that is 1 foot wide, 2 feet tall. You put this hash at the bottom of the target, and you're going to get your hits. At 200 yards, what I do is I move the hash, so the hash is basically on top of the target at the bottom. Okay, so whereas here you're at the bottom of the target, like underneath it, here you move it so that it's in that spot. So it's kind of weird how, like, from here, from 10 to 100 yards, there's this gigantic drop. All right, but then from 150 yards to 200 yards, proportionately the drop doesn't seem like it's that much, but that's what it is. And the reason for this oddness is because you don't have a true zero. Okay, so right out of the gate, like, basically at, the barrel is not pointed up far enough to ever get that intersection. So that's why you get what appears to be a massive drop after you go past 100 yards. Okay, so 10 yards to 100 yards, you put your dot just over your target, and that works with the big targets. The 1 foot by 2 foot targets. It also works with these 8-inch targets over here. And as you go further out, you need bigger targets. But up close over here, from at the 10 yards and the 30 yards, this works just fine. Okay, so at 150 yards, your sight pitch is going to look like this, right? You put the bottom hash right underneath the target, and then at 200 yards, you're going to take the bottom of the hash, you're going to move it to that position over there, right? That's going to get you out to 200 yards. And also, this is also going to work for you from 0 to 5 yards, right? So in your CQB distance, 0 to 5 yards, you're doing the same thing. Now, normally with, if you've got the 5.56, right, in CQB distance, that's what we're using. We're using the bottom over here. So that's working the same. Okay, so at close distance, at 0 to 5 yards in CQB distance, your holdover is the same with the 5.56 or 22. You're using the bottom hash, and again, the reason is because even if you've got a 5.56 in here, right, your line of sight's up here, your barrel is down here. So even with a 5.56 in 0 to 5 yards, it hasn't had a chance to rise So that's why we're using the bottom hash of that 65 MOA circle. So that doesn't change with 22, right? So the interesting thing here is that actually stays the same. So I'm really not too surprised with what I saw up here, right? From the 10 yards to 100 yards, that goes right at the top of the target. I was somewhat surprised with what I saw down here, where at 150 yards, my hash is right underneath the target, whereas at 200 yards, it's in that position there. I expected something different. I expected the 200 holdover to be a lot more. I expect it to be holding a lot higher, but it's not. And the reason, again, for this is because you never have a true zero, right? All you have is holdovers. So that's why we have like this drastic change up here, like from up here from 10 yards to 100 yards. There's a big difference in holdover when we get down to 150 yards. So I thought that was interesting for you guys to check out. Let me know what you guys think. You get a chance to try this out. This is one of the reasons why I love the 65 MOA circle, because you can use it as an anchoring point for your holdovers. One of the things I have not been able to figure out yet is with 5.56, where does the bottom get me? I mean, I'm estimating somewhere like this holdover over here with a 5.56. I think should be somewhere around 600, 700 yards. I haven't had a chance to really test that out. But with the 22s, it definitely comes in really handy. It gives you ability to get on target at 150 yards and 200 yards. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop some comments below. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to y'all soon.